Welcome 83K Nation. Thank you so much for joining us. We believe that it's your spiritual and moral obligation before God and the world to succeed in the marketplace. That's why I'm so passionate about teaching you as an entrepreneur or business leader how to start, grow, and massively scale your business so that you can have more influence in the marketplace. Hey, today I got something very special for you. I'm sharing a live session that I did at my Fast Business Boot Camp. But before we go into that session, I just want to ask you to do me a favor. Please subscribe, like, and let's share these sessions with your family and your friends. Let's get the word out there. Thank you so much for your support. Let's go live into this final session now. Number two, you got to become a master marketer. What does that mean? That means people got to know who you are and they've got to know what your product is. If they don't know you, they won't flow you. If they don't know you, they won't flow you. You see, this is really cool. It's not the best that rises to the top. It's the best known that becomes number one. Think about that. It's not necessarily the best. It's the best known. I could give you an illustration. Like you think of like a company like TruGreen. Everybody knows TruGreen, right? They spray grass. And they come with these great big huge mammoth trucks, right? Because they're so big. They spray so many yards. They got big, and they're massively known. Big marketing budget. But are big companies like that usually the best? Do they give you the best service? Not usually. Usually it's the little guy down the road who's got a little tiny truck and he's looking meticulously at your yard, making sure every little weed gets sprayed before he left. It's the little guy that's usually a lot better. He's the best, but he's not the best known. What does marketing do? Marketing makes you the best known. You want to be the best known person. So what's your number one problem as a business owner? Here's your number one problem. Exposure. Exposure is your problem. What's the number one problem as a pastor? Exposure. People don't even know your church is there. How many times have you invited someone to your church and they say, "Where's that church? I never heard of that church." "Well, we've been around for 40 years. "Yeah, but I never heard of you. If they don't know you, they can't flow you. They don't know your church exists, they're not going to come. What is marketing? Getting people to know you exist and what your product is. If pastors could understand this right here, they would grow their churches a lot bigger, because most churches are small because people just don't know about how great the church is. And there's no marketing being done. Same thing with business owners. You've got to get known. God is the ultimate marketer, if you think about it. What is marketing? It's getting attention. Did this get your attention? Hey! Now where's your eyes looking? What am I doing? I'm just getting your attention. That's what marketing is. You need exposure, so you need somebody to say, "Oh, hey, I got to pay attention to this." Now, what's the enemy to getting attention? What your mama said? Don't talk to stupid. Talk to as many strangers as you can. Someone says money doesn't grow on trees. Yeah, it grows in people's pockets. And the more hands you shake, the more opportunities for people who have money in their pockets to give it to you. You got to shake some hands. You got to say, hey, you got to get attention. this stuff we are taught stops us. Mama taught us another thing. What'd she tell us? Don't honk your own horn. You ever hear that? Don't talk big about yourself. Well, if you don't talk big about yourself, here's what I'm going to tell you. Nobody else is. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you don't talk big about yourself, your critic's going to talk down about yourself. I say honk your horn. It's what the horn's for. To get what? Sure not a principle Jesus practiced. He got attention everywhere he went, healing the sick. I mean, I would say he got attention when the lame man started walking down. I think he got attention. I'm sure he got attention when the devil came out of that little boy that was demon possessed, and all of a sudden he's in his right mind. I think he got people's attention, don't you think? That's why he says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon you to what? Preach. What's preaching? Saying it loud, getting attention. I'm over here. Most people are afraid. They're like snails. They come inside of themselves, and they wonder why they're not growing. Nothing's happening. It's because you got to break some of this. How about this one? You guys ever hear this? Always under promise and over deliver. Have you ever heard that? Doesn't that sound good? It's stupid. If you always under promise, somebody's going to always the liars are going to over promise. And guess what? You're not going to get the sale. You're going to get passed right on by. No. You want to over promise. But you want to deliver on that over promise. When you overpromise, it forces you to bring out the best. No, I got to bring my best game. Another mistake people make in marketing is ignoring social media channels to get known, especially older business leaders and startups. They say, well, I'm just not a techie person. That's for young people. Oh, no, it's for you. You have two ways to get customers. You have organic or paid. Organic is free. And you have a free platform to get people's attention on. A place where you can overpromise, honk your horn, say, hey! It's the way David can defeat big Goliath. The big Goliath's not doing it. You can be David using social media to take Goliath out. The bottom line is you must confidently and consistently tell the world who you are and what problem you solve and how to get your product. I'm going to say that again. The bottom line, you must confidently and consistently tell the world who you are, what problem you solve, and how to get that product. You got to give them a way to get it. You got to make them an offer. Like the Godfather, an offer you can't refuse. That's what you got to do. That's business. That's marketing.
The number one request we get from entrepreneurs is, hey, I love your books and teachings, but is it possible for you to mentor me? As someone who has served as a business coach and consultant for 30 years, yes, of course I want to help you. Since you visited this page, it tells me something about you. You're hungry to change your personal, professional, and financial situation. And that's the first requirement that I look for in mentoring people. If that sounds like you, I want to invite you into my private group, 83K Society. This is a tight group of seven-figure earners who are ready to scale above and beyond that, as well as people who are accelerating their way to achieving the spiritual and moral goal of success and financial wealth. We've had some amazing testimonies from people I've coached, like Martine, for instance, who just had his first $1 million day. Matt Anderson, a 30-year-old who bought a $27 million apartment complex. Justin Kane, who just had his first $83,000 month. There's Janice Rhodes, who finally published her first book. Then there's James, who made an extra $100,000 building his consulting company. There are two ways to learn: mistakes and mentors. Sadly, in the beginning, I was all alone, learning from a lot of mistakes. But when God crossed my path with millionaire mentors, that changed quickly for me. So I made a vow that when I became wealthy, I would become the person that I needed by helping others just like you. 83K Society is all about giving you access to three important things: mentoring to inform you, coaching to challenge you, and a community to support you. Here's what becoming a mentor of our 83K Society looks like for you. You're getting monthly coaching from me at our Success Symposium. You're getting access to our 1-year Millionaire in the Making training program. You're getting access to the Success Vault, a library of trainings on the 3 pillars of success: confidence, leadership, and wealth, valued at over $37,000. You're also receiving fly-on-the-wall interviews with kingdom millionaires and billionaires. And finally, you'll be automatically approved to join our 83K Society community on Facebook. You become what you focus on. If you want to become a baker, you need to study recipes and develop kitchen skills. In the same way, if you want to scale beyond 7 figures, you need to study the wealthy. Listen, if you feel like you're going around in circles, you have to change the circles you get around. Because the fastest way to change your life is to elevate your relationships. That's why my team has created the most incredible free gift offer ever. We are going to let you have a free test drive of this mentoring experience for the first 60 days. If you'd like to continue the mentoring after 60 days, we're going to give you an additional 50% off. The investment of this membership is $83 per month, and you will be able to get in for a limited time for only $39. This is a special one-time deal for you to get in to this special 83K Society. When you say maybe today, you can have everything I just told you about for 2 full months. Click the link below, and I'll see you at the next Success Symposium.
Number 3, revenue mastery. Revenue mastery. You got to master revenue. The purpose of a leader is to create vision of the future of where the business is going, where an organization is going. Your job is to say, we may be small now, but we're going global. We're going to start locally. We're going to go regionally. We're going to do the state. We're going to do the country. We're going all over the world. Your job is to create a really big vision for where your company's going. Now, in order to do that, as a leader, your responsibility is always to 10x your business every single year. 10x. Meaning, you look at the income that comes in and you put a 0 at the end and said, this is our next target. As a leader, you got to constantly be driving the organization forward, whether you're a business leader or even a church leader. If you're a church and you're at 100 people, you got to say, hey, we're going to put a 0 on this and we're going to go for 1,000. If you're a business owner and you're a small business and you're mowing yards, or you're Larry and he just made $60,000 this year, he's doing pretty good. But Larry's responsibility is to say, okay, now that I'm making 60, how can I put a 0 on the end
And now take this to 600. Then when Larry gets to 600, his job as a leader says, oh, we're not going to get comfortable. Here, I'm the leader. I'm the disruptor. I'm the visionary. Hey, we got to put another zero. How can we get to 6 million? That's your responsibility as a leader. That's why we want you working on the business, not in the business. It's called revenue mastery. And what you got to do is at the level that you're at, you got to study somebody at your potential, not where you are. And what a lot of business leaders do is they get around other business leaders that have companies about the same size, and they study one another. No, what you want to do is you want to study another business leader that's at 10x. If you're at 600,000, you got to find somebody that's bringing in 6 million and go get you a photograph and a picture in your mind. Visit their shops. Study what they're doing. Get you a photograph in your mind of what they're doing. Connect with them. Get to know them. Buy their courses. Buy their training. Piggyback off them. Learn from them. Do whatever you got to do. And when you get around runners, you become a runner. So in revenue mastery, you begin to think, I'm going to stop fishing for minnows, and how can I fish for whales? How can I stop focusing on Walmart clients and go for Neiman Marcus clients? When you start asking yourself the right revenue questions, you start shifting where you're going. So your branding has to change. Your copy has to change. Your communication, how you present yourself, has to change for clients that are small versus clients that are big. And then you're going after different clients. You're not going after small, tiny contracts. You're going after big contracts. Well, I'm just trying to get our city to approve a contract. You move from city contracts to how can I get state contracts? How can I shoot me an elephant instead of bunnies? I want elephant contracts. And as believers, right, we have the God advantage. We have God's favor, and we got to believe God for the bigger contracts. But if we don't believe for them, and if we don't put in, what do they call, a proposal to the contracts that are available through the state, we're never going to get the big elephants. And then if you think, well, I don't have the crew, you need to go watch the Tucker movie. You need to go. You need to realize how billionaires send in the contract before they have the crew and all the stuff that they need. They go for it, and then they figure out how to put it all together later. Number 4, sales mastery. Sales mastery. Now, as soon as we start talking about sales, everybody, I think the majority of nobody likes to be called a salesman, right? It's like, whenever we say this word sales, what's the first thing you picture in your mind? It's like, I don't want to be a sleazy, what? Salesperson. But watch this. This is so cool. Sales is simply this. It's helping people make a wise decision to buy your product because you know and believe in it so much that you know it will solve their problem. Now, if you are in a business that solves a problem and you don't believe you're the best and that you have the best product and that product, that business, whatever you're offering, that service,
If you don't believe the best, then now you're a sleazy salesman. But if you believe you are the best, watch this. You have a moral and spiritual responsibility to convince that person that they need to purchase your product that's going to help them. Now, we got a preacher in the room learning, right? He's got a product. What's his product? Jesus, right? So his product is selling. He has a responsibility to sell Jesus to who? People who have a sin problem. Right? They have a sin problem, and his job is to sell Jesus to the people who show up for his church. And he has a spiritual responsibility to do that, yes or yes? Because we know that that product will what? It will help them. Now, pastor, have you ever tried to sell Jesus and they said no? Many times? Yeah, sure. Now, if they say no, do you just say, okay, and walk away? You keep trying. You keep trying? Why?
Because I know he's the best.
You know that, man, if I could just get... Is that sleazy?
No.
Is that pure? Is that a pure motive in your heart?
Yes, sir.
Do you get any benefit at all if that person takes your product? Not really. Maybe you get a member, right? But it's your responsibility. It's no different in selling the product of Jesus and selling the product of, I have the solution to fix your plumbing. And I know I'm the best and I'm going to do the best job. You don't want to, I'm Larry. I'm the number one in this area. You don't want Jim. I do a much better job. I do much better job. I do much better work. I am the best. Why would you want to waste your time calling other plumbers? We got to get this problem solved. We got to get the problem solved now, and I got a big demand. I got to get going. Come on, let's get this fixed. Oh, okay. I was going to think about it. There's nothing to think about. You need to fix this problem. Let's go. See, most people don't want to go there, right? We want to, okay, they said no. But once you realize sales is just people don't know what decision to make, and you're helping them, you're servicing them to help them guide them along the lines of the right decision to make. And just like you, sometimes we get scared, sometimes we look for reasons why not to do something, and we're really asking for more information. Tell me more about this product and how it can serve me more. And then they buy. So in sales, a no is more, just tell me, I need more information. That's all I need. You haven't told me enough about this. In sales, never disagree with your customers. Always agree. How much is that this job going to cost me? Well, ma'am, I got to totally redo the whole plumbing of your whole house. It's going to be $2,000. $2,000? That's expensive. Yep, you're right. That sure is expensive. Or is that going to be MasterCard or credit card? Is that going to be MasterCard or Visa? Which one? What did I just do?
You didn't give him time to think about it. You moved on.
No, but what did I do first? That's a lot of money. Yeah, you're right. Boy, it sure is. Now, is that going to be a MasterCard or? What do most people do? That's a lot of money. What would be the natural response? No, it's not. Now what are you doing? Now what are you in?
You're in a fight.
And you lose. Awesome trick. Same way with a pastor. The Lord wants to come into your life and change your life. I don't believe in God. Well, let me tell you. Well, oh, there he goes to fight. Oh, I agree. I know. I know. Now where's the guy at?
Lost and down.
Oh, really? You agree? I'm like, yeah, I agree. I agree with you, man. I had a lot of doubts myself. But you know what? You tell them your story about how Jesus changed you, right? And man, that changed my whole life around. Can I pray for you? What'd you do? You agreed? You told him the story? Hey, and you went back. You overcame his objection. Yeah, I felt the same way. I agree with you. Boy, this God thing is kind of confusing sometimes. The other problem with sales is most people never ask for people's business right now. When I was 24 years old, I was the number one salesman in the company. I went to two different companies, two different products. And both companies, the one company I was number one, the second one I was number two, but the second one I was number two because I was going to Bible school during the day and I only worked part-time. I was working part-time, but I was number two because I was going to Bible school. If I'd have worked full-time, I'd have been number one. And the reason why I was number one, and I realized it, was that when I was first taught sales, the guy taught me, he says, always look him in the eye and say, are you ready to buy now? Close. Ask them for the close. And most salespeople never ask. Let's do this now. It's going to be cash or credit. It's like we get passive. You've got to ask for the close. The other mistake that we make is business, and this is sales mastery with sales, is we lack follow-up. It takes a minimum today of 12 contacts to close a deal today, to close a contract. And most salespeople quit after 1.5 times. So usually they only call back once and that's it, but yet 85% of sales are closed after the 12th call. That right there for your business is worth the $500 you paid. Master the follow-up. Set a system in place where you're following up on customers. Your most important asset of your business is your database. Keep a database, and that database is the number one place that you continue to market to. Even if they said no. Because guess what? What do we know? Mediocrity is the norm. Larry may get rejected because there's some other company that does it cheaper, that won't do it with the level of excellence that Larry does. But later on, they'll need a toilet fixed. And what are they going to say about that other company? I'm not calling them. And I remember that Larry guy. He told me he was number one. I probably should have paid the extra $100 and got Larry. But Larry hasn't stopped his follow-up with them. They get a card from Larry every 6 months. Larry's plumbing. Larry's plumbing. And then maybe you don't need plumbing, but now your mama needs plumbing. Hey, you know what? I use those one people. They're no good. Hey, this Larry guy, you should call Larry. He's number one. They haven't even used your services. But you mastered the follow-up. It's all in the follow-up. Scale mastery. Duplication. Scaling your business is all about duplicating yourself. Now we're talking about teams. Even Jesus had a team. You can go fast all by yourself, but if you want to go far, you've got to have a team. One is too small of a number for greatness. So eventually you got to be preparing for a team. Now, even if you're starting, you can get a team to help you. You can get other people to jump on board with you. But you got to sell. That's why sales mastery is important. You got to sell people the vision of what you're trying to build and get them to jump on your side. Have you guys ever watched the show The Undercover Billionaire? Every single one of those people, they have $100 in their pocket. They have nothing, but they go and they sell other people a vision to come work for them and give them a big promise. I'm going to carry you up the ladder as we build this big business together, and people will come and work for you for free if they think there's something in it for them. It takes money to make money. No, it doesn't. It takes a big vision. And then you start building a team, and you don't have to wait until you're big to build a team and you have money to build a team. But what is scaling? Getting everybody to move in the same direction to accomplish the same thing. If you want to scale, it's all about structures and systems. When you get the right structure, right system, now your size and your speed can grow. And I'll show you how that works. Remember the old railroad tracks? You remember the old ones? The old school, they had ties and they had the metal bars. Now those trains can only carry so much weight, they can only go so fast. But how have you seen the new trains? The new trains aren't on tracks, right? And the new trains are on those new rail systems, and the new trains can carry more weight, they can go faster. But what did they have to do? They had to create a new structure. They had to create new systems. So systems and structures determine the speed and the size of an organization. And so you got to systemize. And that's why I told you, in every area of your business, you got to stay focused on, I got to learn it, I teach it to somebody else, and I exit from it. That's your strategy from start till the day you sell the business. Because the purpose of a business is either to sell it or to cash flow it. That's how you begin with your business. You say, I'm either going to sell this or I'm going to exit it and just create a cash flow out of it. So I sell to go build another one. I build it up, I sell. I go build another one. Or I leave it over there and just let it cash flow. Let my leaders lead it, and I enjoy the harvest on the labor of what I built. There's the 5 things you need for success. I'll repeat them again. Number 1, you need to master the money game. Number 2, you need to be a master marketer. Marketing is all about amplifying your message, amplifying the amount of people who know you, because if they don't know you, they won't flow you. Number 3, it's all about revenue mastery. Taking your company to its full potential by 10xing the revenue. Being a leader that sees into the future, that has increase on your mind. You never stay satisfied where you're at. Number 4, sales mastery. You got to master the sales. Number 5, you got to have scale mastery. You got to build a team that can help you.